Addiction. Johann Hari is right about addiction. A bad environment contributes more to addiction than any chemical hooks that a drug possesses. He explains how using drugs acts as a mechanism for coping with an intolerable situation. One morning I was facilitating group therapy at the First Step House, and it suddenly struck me that these guys are coming from a really bad place. But I failed to realize how important this element is in the development of addiction. We all develop values as we grow up, but using drugs actually changes these values. In the words of Dr. Drew Pinsky, talking about addictions, they all are a disorder of the brain's reward system in such a way that it distorts the brain's fundamental motivational systems. So the usual motivations, working, loving your family, even eating and sleeping, maintaining your health, those things that are usually there, coloring our brain's activity, become submerged and a single motivation emerges, which is use the drug. And literally, the brain's biology confuses the message of the drug with the message of survival itself. So that's how powerful the drives are. It's literally a distortion of the brain's survival system. The drug comes to be considered the most important thing in life, as the addict's life degenerates into an obsessive pattern of finding and using the drug. The weakness of addiction is that it is a short-term solution for a long-term problem, and this makes it unsustainable. Although it provides temporary relief from overwhelming pain, it is always accompanied by negative consequences. Because of the addict's single-minded concentration on getting and using drugs, everything else is neglected. Sooner or later, this behavior will hurt someone. Sooner or later, this will result in some sort of intervention. At some point, the addict will begin to realize that the drug use itself is a problem, usually as a result of experiencing negative consequences. This is sometimes called a wake-up call, and is essential to the process of recovery. The technical term for this is readiness to change. Addiction counselors try to develop stronger readiness to change in their clients by pointing out ambivalence on the part of the addict, which is usually caused by negative consequences. The strongest readiness to change is evidenced by the addict's realization that the drug use must cease because its consequences have become as intolerable as the original problem. By the time an addict is in recovery, chances are good that jobs have been lost and relationships have been destroyed. At this time, the addict's life is probably in shambles, so recovery will involve more than just refraining from using drugs. It will involve rebuilding the addict's life, quite an ambitious project. Careful attention must be given to belief systems, value systems, and coping skills for full and productive living. Recovery presents problems of its own. The recovering addict will need to review relationships in terms of how they affect recovery. Friends who continue to use need to be avoided, and sober friends found. This is not easy. A look at an addict's appointment calendar would show a single-minded quest to find and use drugs. With those activities gone, the calendar is now empty, leaving a lot of time to fill with healthy activities. It won't happen without a recovery plan. If you or a loved one struggle with substance abuse, don't let drugs ruin your life. Get help now. Call 1-844-886-1862. That's 1-844-886-1862.